Tonight, an accused grave robber behind bars.
I personally think it's sick.
The alleged thefts from hundreds of final resting places spanning 2 counties and totaling tens of thousands of dollars.
A frigid Friday leads to a slippery Saturday and Sunday as the cold and snow have us in a weather impact alert right through the weekend. The latest trends from the model guidance tonight.
Scrapers, shovels, and salt. Oh my.
We'll probably have people waiting in the parking lot on Saturday morning.
Tonight, the bi-state braces for a winter blast.
6 inches, single digits or teens, that's always going to be rough.
We start tonight with a weather impact alert. It's the calm before a massive winter storm that's expected to wallop the Midwest and the South, including parts of the St. Louis region. Thanks so much for joining us for 5 on Your Side at 10. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Our neighbors to the south will feel the brunt of the storm, but we could see several inches of snow, and we will see dangerously cold temperatures and wind chills here. We're still 48 hours out, and we have live team coverage helping you prepare for the storm. First, let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell, who's been poring over the latest models just in on the tracking and timing. Scott.
Yeah, and those models are still coming in. We're still getting the output from the model runs for this evening. What we know for sure is that the cold air is coming. We've known that all along. Friday is when it moves in here. Friday morning, it will be here before daybreak, and it's going to extend into Monday. So we know the bitterly cold air is here Friday through Monday. We're going to get powdery snow as we go into Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, early on Sunday. The question is, how much will we see in terms of snowfall? The trend continues to be a little farther north for the potential of heavier snow, and that does include the potential for more than 6 inches of snow across a good chunk of the 5 on Your Side area. First of all, here comes the cold air. This time tomorrow night, it'll be pouring into northern Missouri. Our temperatures will be tumbling as we go into Friday. And by Friday, late in the day, we are dropping back into the single digits, and wind chills will go below 0 Friday morning and stay there. Then as we head into Saturday and Saturday night, snow will spread across the region. We don't have specific numbers here, but what I want you to notice is that darker blue down to our south, that's where 6 to 12 or more inches of snow will be. And look at the ice and all of that pink farther south. This is a major ice storm farther to the south. Timing on that, overnight Friday night, early Saturday morning, it's to our west. Between 6 and noon on Saturday, it looks to be moving into St. Louis. And then as we head towards the afternoon hours, it will slide east and northeast of St. Louis. How much? That's a big question. It's really too soon to get specific, but I'd say 4 to 7 inches around St. Louis is a very reasonable expectation, and that's what you should plan for heading into Saturday night and Sunday morning.
Well, road crews are already out preparing for the storm. MoDOT had crews out today pre-treating the roads with beet juice and brine.
IDOT says it's holding off for now. Officials say the combination of bitter cold and dry snow could make their job tough. And lots of shoppers are already preparing for the anticipated weekend snowstorm headed our way.
5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend caught up with some in Jefferson County. He continues our live team coverage from the Tam Avenue overpass in St. Louis.
Kelly and Mike, right now it's definitely a chilly and windy 35 degrees out here. Overall, though, it's not too bad, but take a look right now. You can see drivers are moving along a clear I-64, but come this weekend, that's expected to change when a big snowstorm blows our way. Wednesday's near 50-degree day was a perfect time for Matt Waldo to trek to Hauska's Ace Hardware in Arnold for a big bag of salt and more. He's getting ahead of a major snowstorm expected to soon blow our way.
We're stocking up on supplies, getting the firewood in the garage, gonna sprinkle some salt out.
Waldo was just one of the more than 24 snow-weary shoppers on the go this afternoon. Workers at this family-owned hardware store say this year's mild winter has put a bit of a freeze on their sales.
50-pound and a 25.
But this weekend's winter wallop may pack several inches of snow.
You don't think you should stock up on some ice melt for the snow on Saturday?
And Mindy Weisler and her team say without a doubt, more shoppers will flood their store for shovels, ice scrapers, de-icer, and other necessities.
The rest of our, hopefully, gloves, hats, We got wood outside, for a fireplace. Praying and hoping that this weekend will be the weekend that we can get rid of some of our winter stuff.
And while this longtime business will be buzzing, next door at Contemporary Finds,
Sundays are normally my day to come in and work.
Kaylin Ramirez and 48 other vendors might not be able to work come Sunday because the building will likely be closed due to the looming winter storm.
It impacts everybody, but I can't change it, so I just go with the flow.
I'm hoping we get something. Makes the winter worth it,
You're ready for it?
Yep, I'm excited.
Back here live, crews have already started pre-treating snow routes. Those are crews with the St. Louis Streets Department. And tomorrow morning during an 11 o'clock news conference, Mayor Kara Spencer will tell us more about how the city is preparing for this weekend's winter weather. We're definitely on top of this big story. Live in St. Louis, I'm Robert Townsend. 5 on your side.
And our team of weather impact meteorologists will be here over the next several days, providing continuous updates both on air and on our free streaming app. All you have to do is click the QR code on your screen to download for free. You can also get the latest weather impact forecast anytime on your phone. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355.
Within the last 4 hours, police identified the man at the center of a missing person case found shot and killed in the Central West End. Police say the body of 23-year-old Jordan Walker was found in an alley near Olive and Whittier early this morning. Officers were led there because of pings from his cell phone. Hours earlier, Jamal Jones was arrested nearby after a shots fired call. Police say he had an assault rifle. He is now charged with Walker's murder.
Just hours ago, the Missouri State Auditor announced a full audit of the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski sat down with the auditor tonight, who says the routine probe is also part of the transition to a state-controlled department.
Missouri State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick says his office began the audit of the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department on January 7th. They're starting with evaluating the last full fiscal year.
We want to do our part, get in there and work with the police department, help them identify any areas where they could be more efficient, where they could be better run.
Fitzpatrick says there are several areas of the department they'll be analyzing, including risk around seized property or evidence labs, procurement of things like body cameras and other contracts, and even officer retention.
I think there's a correlation between declining number of officers and increasing overtime, which we understand, but making sure that there are tight controls on payroll and timekeeping.
The St. Louis Police Department said in a statement they're aware of the state review and, quote, will fully cooperate with the state auditors to provide requested information as part of this standard review. The SLMPD will review any findings or recommendations once the audit is finalized. Police Chief Robert Tracy attended a Ward 5 neighborhood meeting Wednesday night where he talked about some of the issues they're dealing with, including recruiting and retention, citing pay as one of the biggest barriers.
We're like 29th out of 35 jurisdictions in this area as far as pay. We're getting people coming back. We got almost a $12,000 raise for these officers starting pay in 2023. And then we started coming around at 7% raise in January of 2025.
Chief Tracy also cited some things he's already done to be more efficient.
We're doing our own hiring. We've taken our own HR director, getting it out of those archaic civil service rules and city charter rules so we can do things on the state law to be more efficient.
Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Once the audit is finished, there will be some recommendations. It will be up to the State Police Board to hold the department accountable for any changes.
Breaking news tonight out of Texas. A few hours ago, a jury acquitted the former Uvalde school police officer on trial for allegedly failing to act during the massacre at Robb Elementary School. Adrian Gonzalez was found not guilty on all 29 counts of child endangerment. Prosecutors claim he abandoned his training and did not try to stop the gunman. 19 students and 2 teachers were killed in the shooting in May of 2022.
Tonight, a Forestell man is behind bars after police say he stole more than $25,000 worth of bronze vases from local cemeteries.
5 on your side's Brent Solomon is here to explain the massive theft operation spans 2 counties. Well, nearly 200 vases taken from the grave sites in just a matter of days, Brent.
The rows of headstones at St. Charles Memorial Gardens are meant to be a place of peace, but they recently became the scene of a crime.
I just had like a gut feeling that his would be gone. And sure enough, pulled up to his, and his was gone.
Police arrested Brett Stowell after they say surveillance cameras caught his car. Investigators followed him to a scrapyard where they say he admitted to selling these bronze vases that he ripped off of grave sites for about $125 each. The actual cost to replace the 191 stolen vases, more than $25,000.
My dad was a veteran. He was the Air Force. And it's like, really? Now you go after somebody that actually served our country and they're deceased, and then you go ahead and still steal from them.
Police say the suspect didn't just strike here. They say he also showed up to a cemetery on St. Charles Rock Road in St. Louis County and did the same thing. The Valhalla Cemetery is about 18 miles away from the first crime scene. There, a groundskeeper noticed families missing their loved ones' vases late last month. We recognize the emotional impact such incidents have on families who have been affected by these thefts. Our investigators work diligently to identify and apprehend the responsible party, and we are committed to pursuing justice in this matter, the St. Charles Police Department said.
I personally think it's sick that somebody is sick enough to go to a grave site and steal off somebody. You've already lost your family member. It's just, I don't know, it's like degrading.
Ann Rawlings says the cemetery told her they are insured and plan to replace the missing vases. Stoll was held in the St. Charles County Jail on a $5,000 cash-only bond. St. Louis County also has a warrant for his arrest, and that comes with a $50,000 cash-only bond.
Car owners steered in the wrong direction.
A piece of equipment that's designed to save your life in serious crashes, deploying and potentially killing you.
The warning tonight of an illegal part swap leading to deadly consequences.
They're deploying and overpressuring and shooting shrapnel.
We're about 24 to 36 hours from the Arctic air pouring into the region and the beginning of our weather impact alert. The frigid start to the weekend and why travel plans will get snarled for millions of Americans over the next 5 days.
Hours ago, hundreds of protesters packed the rotunda at the Missouri State Capitol. Several groups from labor unions to pro-choice advocates gathered for the Stand Up, Fight Back rally. They were protesting a variety of issues like the repeal of the voter-approved paid sick leave, abortion rights, and the new congressional map.
An urgent warning tonight for the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration about dangerous and deadly airbags.
Officials say these so-called life-saving devices were illegally imported from a Chinese manufacturer. Susan Hogan looks into how they're making their way into American cars.
This warning isn't just for used car shoppers. It's for anyone driving a used vehicle, especially one that's been in a crash before. Federal investigators say 8 drivers have been killed, 2 others seriously injured, not by the crash itself, but by the airbag meant to save them.
So what's happening, though, is that these are substandard inflators, and when they're in a crash, even a minor crash, they're deploying and overpressuring and shooting shrapnel to the face and chest of consumers, or of the drivers.
The Chinese manufacturer linked to these airbags, known as DTN, even says on its own website its products are not allowed to be sold in the United States. Yet investigators say these airbags are ending up in American cars most often after a previous crash, when the original airbag gets replaced with a cheap, illegal part.
Somehow these inflators are being imported into the United States, and they're being attached to airbag modules, which are being sold, we think, through online marketplaces.
According to NHTSA, all known deaths involved Chevy Malibus and Hyundai Sonatas with salvage or rebuilt titles. But officials warn this may not be limited to just those vehicles. And here's what makes this so dangerous. Drivers often have no idea what airbag's inside their car until it's too late.
There's nothing worse than a piece of equipment that's designed to save your life in serious crashes, deploying and potentially killing you in minor crashes that you should walk away from.
NHTSA says if your car was ever in a crash where airbags were deployed, especially if it has a salvage or rebuilt title, get it checked now. If a DTN airbag's found, don't drive the car until the airbag's replaced with one that meets U.S. safety standards. You can report suspected illegal airbags to NHTSA, and the agency urges buyers to get a vehicle history report before purchasing any used car.
Again, that was Susan Hogan. That Chinese company has not responded to a request for comment. Experts say if you are buying a used car, never skip the safety check.
Well, we are now just 16 days away from the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina. Some events start 2 weeks from today. And tonight, the Olympic torch continues to make its way through Italy. Right now, it's in the city of Vicenza. That's located about halfway between the two host cities. With two host cities, there will be two Olympic cauldrons for the first time in the history of the Games. And today, organizers revealed the design. The sun-like structure is inspired by Leonardo da Vinci's intricate knot patterns. The two cauldrons will be lit simultaneously during the opening ceremony, and you can watch it right here on 5 on Your Side, February 6th. And this is your home for all the action at the Winter Olympics. 5 on Your Side's Corey Miller also headed to Italy to cover the Games for us. You can look for his report starting next month.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joins us with the weather impact forecast. A lot going on in the next couple of days. Scott, you're tracking it all.
Yes, tomorrow's another relatively quiet day. It won't be as nice as today. Today we were at 49 degrees, tomorrow 39 for the high. But here's your weather impact alert. Okay, we're starting it early Friday morning before sunrise. Temperatures will have dropped into the lower teens. Wind chills will already be below zero. They'll stay below zero all day Friday. The wind chills likely below zero for much of the weekend. Snow develops later Saturday. That should end sometime Sunday morning, but the cold does not go away. In fact, the winds pick up again later Sunday night and Monday morning, which means another round of those bitterly cold wind chills. A lot of energies out here coming out of Canada, out of Alaska, dropping south down the west coast. And also we have this system that's been just kind of spinning out here off the California coast. That should be pushing inland here over the next couple of days. We'll see how this energy phases together. But all indications are that we will have significant snow across southern Missouri and southern portions of Illinois with the heaviest amounts as you head down into the Ozarks of northern Arkansas and into southern portions of Missouri and then over towards Kentucky with significant ice farther to the south. If there's one good thing we have about this forecast, it's that we're not dealing with freezing rain. It's all snow. Notice the darker blue shadings here as you go from about Mount Vernon to Farmington, maybe to Potosi to Rolla, points south, Fredericktown's in there, Perryville's in there, Ironton, down to Centerville, Lesterville. You may be looking at more than 6-8 inches of snow. There could be some spots that get more than a foot farther south of St. Louis. First, though, we deal with the cold air. Friday into Monday, the temperatures dropping by Saturday morning to around zero, wind chills well below zero, and then the snow arrives Saturday afternoon. Pipes might freeze. Travel's going to be a mess, not only here, but look how extensive this system is. It is a large system that is going to just create travel woes all across the southern half of the country towards the East Coast through the weekend into early next week. The initial edge of snow as it comes towards St. Louis, it has to fight that dry air, but it will make it to the ground. It will snow, and at times we think going into Saturday night and very early Sunday morning, some of that snow could be a little heavier at times. Meanwhile, the ice is farther to the south. Snowfall start times in the metro, it'll spread in between 6 and noon on Sunday and then spreading into the metro east after lunchtime, the way we see it right now on Sunday. Those bitterly cold wind chills, we're below zero on the wind chills from really Friday into Monday, most of that time. And Saturday morning and again on Monday morning, we expect the wind chills to be 10 to 20 degrees below zero. So it's a powdery dry snow, the heaviest south of I-70. Metro, plan on 4 to 7 inches. That's what we'll plan on now. Tomorrow we'll come out with some numbers that pinpoint it more. But if you're south of St. Louis, more than 6 inches of snow is likely. Right now, temperatures are in the upper 30s. We will drop tonight to about 23, 39 tomorrow. Look at those cold temperatures. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That cold is nothing to take for granted here. We don't want to discount that. I know the snow has a big impact, but say you're traveling and these temperatures are that cold and you get stuck in the snow, you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's a problem. So travel's not really recommended later Saturday night into Sunday morning.
All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is next with sports.
Mike, Illinois basketball is unstoppable. A Cardinal legend is returning to the organization. And why do our professional teams want to sell all their best players?
This 5 on Your Side Sports Report is sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel is now available in Missouri.
Illinois basketball should have St. Louis on their minds and vice versa. The NCAA sometimes rewards great basketball teams by having them not travel far for the tournament. St. Louis is a first-round site. The Illini could bring thousands of fans. Good for everybody. Brad Underwood and the Illini hosting Maryland. And Peja Stojakovic came out on fire and didn't cool down. He made 4 3-pointers and he scored 30 points. Jake Davis knocked down 4 3-pointers also. Illinois moves to 16-3. It's 8 in a row. They maul Maryland 89-70. So the future of Illinois could be in St. Louis, and likewise for Yadier Molina. The future Hall of Famer has agreed to be a special assistant to Chaim Bloom with the Cardinals. I think we've had the same story for like 3 years, but the timing is perfect now because the Cardinals are loaded with a bevy of talented young catchers, and he could have an impact there. The Cardinals would like to see this guy have an impact. He's Quinn Matthews. Do you know in 2024, he was the minor league pitcher of the year. He had a 2.76 earned run average and led the minor leagues in strikeouts. However, last year, he battled injuries and his walk totals rose. According to a teammate in the best soundbite of the winter warm-up, he's too much of a perfectionist.
I try to just be that voice of reason for him because I don't think he's thinking logically. As smart as he is, he's like, oh, dude, Greavy, I suck. I'm like, Quinn, you just struck out 12 guys. He's like, yeah, but I walked too. I'm like, what? Like, are you kidding me? So I think this game is just, the season's so long, this game's so hard that, like, I think just giving himself some grace here and there will just help him a lot.
It sure would help the Blues a lot if they could figure out a way to win on the road. It's been 32 days. A lot has happened since their last victory on the road. Christmas Day, New Year's Day, MLK Day. They're in Dallas on Friday. Today, Blues Hall of Famer Barrett Jackman and Louie were at Parkway South Middle for the Future Goals Initiative. It's a partnership with Ameren to help introduce students to career paths in hockey off the ice. And Jackman knows the opportunities are endless when it comes to making an organization run.
There's thousands, anywhere from travel to nutrition to, the on-ice product, the business side, marketing, ticket sales, great sponsors too, like, Ameren. And it really is just a community, and it takes a lot. We get to, be in front of the cameras and get the fame, but there's so many people behind the scenes that are really, worth thanking.
The Athletic is reporting that City SC is in talks to trade striker J.O. Klaus to the LA Galaxy. The 28-year-old has been City's most prolific scorer with 27 goals in 3 seasons. In return, Klaus would bring back $2 million in general allocation money and give them roster flexibility. He's in the final year of his current contract. Finally tonight, have you thought about this? St. Louis has almost become like a large garage sale in professional sports. I just told you the rumor of City selling off their best player. The Cardinals have already moved 3 stars. And with the way the hockey season is going, the Blues could be busier than Ted Drew's in the summer at the trade deadline. Look, I'm not saying it's a terrible thing what these 3 franchises are doing or could be doing. Hey, if you're not winning, strip it down and start over. But it's kind of crazy in this incredible sports town, all 3 franchises at the same time have decided to sell. It doesn't happen often in any city. It's never happened here, and that will do it in sports.
Streets in St. Louis, maybe towns that we tend to struggle with.
Lindell.
Lindell.
It's Lindell.
Lindell. Great.
Lindell.
Lindell. Yeah, you got that one this morning. I didn't want to jump on you, but that's good. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Actually, that's why I put it there.
Coke Road?
Great.
Really?
Great job. Yes.
Sajay?
Great.
Washington. Washington. Paul, are you going to wash your car? Washington.
Washington? It's very St. Louis.
It's so St. Louis.
I check before I say them, and if I make a mistake, then I learn from it.
Scott has a final check of the weather impact alert, and we're all in all those cities and towns.
Yeah.
We're all going to be frigid and get some snow this week.
I don't think anybody is not going to get snow out of the system. We know everybody's going to be bitterly cold. That's a given. That starts on Friday. That's going to continue through the weekend into Monday. The snow's going to arrive sometime Saturday, especially after lunchtime for St. Louis. Probably comes in a couple of waves. The most impressive wave is later Saturday night, very early Sunday morning. You know, 4 to 7 inches still seems like a reasonable expectation in the metro area to me. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow when we actually come out with our real forecast and start putting some numbers on this puppy, that we bump it up a little more in the metro.
Wow.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. It's going to be impactful, and we're going to be stuck for a while with these temperatures too.
There you have it, 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on your phone and smart TV.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow and be safe.
Okay.